We recently did a shoot right now, uh, just kind of like telling the story of the brand, and it was quite costly. You know,
To shoot expensive.
yeah, it was quite. Yeah, I mean, if you wanna take
Too
it there,
proper, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
there's things that we
Yeah.
do, like regular shoots. Vincent wants me to spill out the coins and tell them how much I spent.
And we here, eh? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Linda with an R. This is Grail Talk. I got my boy here. Sorry, Jabs. The Mr. Empire himself. I'm glad you're here, bro. I appreciate that you're here.
Shut up, bro.
Welcome. This is Grail Talk. Grail Talk is about basically having real conversation, real creators that build real things.
Dope.
To just shape the culture, people that like to shape the culture, people that just like to,
For sure.
do something,
sure.
bring up the vibe, bring up the frequency, people that like to change things. So I'm happy you're here, bro. For example, you hear about Empire.
Yeah.
Please tell me more about Empire. Tell other people that don't usually know what Empire is, bro.
Yeah.
Your brand. So please, can you actually specify who you are and what Empire stands for?
Sure. Well, firstly, thanks for having me, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
It's dope to be here. Unseen as family, so it's dope to be a part of this, you know. But yeah, first of all, my name is Jabu, Jabulani Mavuso. 26 years old, 27 this year. And yeah, Empire is my clothing brand. I founded Empire in 2015.
Yeah.
As an idea really to just look fresh. It's just to keep it a bag. I was, just young, inspired by culture, hip hop, and I think at that point I didn't really think much of it. I was just really exploring and finding myself, and I think, once I kind of just got into it, I found my purpose. I realized that, I actually enjoy doing this. I actually enjoy making clothes. So Empire is basically a brand it's a streetwear brand that basically caters for like the young youth that, are upcoming. What it represents really is just people who have a vision. Anybody who wakes up every day with a goal. So our slogan is like forever building, which means if you are working on something, whether it's like academically, whether it's hustle, this is your gear. This is your battle gear. I like to call it battle gear. You know what I'm saying? That's what you rock when you're about to get it, man. So that's basically what Empire is about. It's just a story to tell or to just pride yourself if you're someone who's hustling, someone who has something to look forward to, someone who's, in the thick of things.
Oh, that's dope, bro. So basically, you've been in this game for like a decade already.
Yeah.
Shout out, but like, what do you wish you knew earlier in your brand journey?
I think discipline. I think I wish I knew how to be a bit more disciplined all around, personally and business-wise. I think that I missed a lot of chances just in terms of my growth because I did not have the type of discipline I have now. I think for me to be where I am and to be able to do what I do, it requires a lot of discipline, And a lot of the times, when I look back when I was younger, there were things that I fell short of because I probably just was not disciplined enough to go the extra mile to, kind of just prepare myself for my next self. I feel like at that point I was going through a journey to become who I am now. Yeah. And through that, I needed to probably just instill a bit more discipline in myself, in the way I work, in the way I carry myself, just life. But I think that's just part of growing up, you know.
Okay.
You grow up and you learn from your mistakes, and you kind of like reflect. And I think that was just one of my biggest lessons. I think if I was a lot more disciplined when I was younger, I probably would have done better. But I'm not too bad.
Oh, that's okay. Shut up. No, but and another thing is that you say you just started because you just wanted to look cool, just strip clothes. But then, how did you get your first customers, like your first 10 customers? How did you tell people, hey guys, I'm selling this, or this is Empire? How did you get it out there?
So, like I said, I started this when I was young. I was in high school. So, you know, in high school, you get to get like cliquey and stuff. You got your own group of guys. And
The whole crew.
Yeah, so I think we were those guys.
Oh.
And we had these days called CVs days, where like
Oh, series Fridays.
Fridays.
Did you have to pay?
Hell yeah, everybody paid. But it's like, that was kind of like the gateway for us, because that's how a lot of the people knew. So, I mean, when I started off, because it was something very new within my community and just people generally, it wasn't something that people were accustomed to. So as soon as I did that, there was like a lot of hype and excitement that, oh, this guy's got a brand, this guy's got a brand. So my friends were like very supportive at that point, where they all like kind of just like bought. So when it was CV's day, we all came through to Scala with Empire, because we wanted to be like the Empire clique. So I kind of got to, you know, convince my friends to like jump on the wave.
Oh, okay.
And that helped a lot, because then now that got the whole school talking and asking, yo, who are these guys? What is this? What is that? So my first 10 customers basically came from my friends. They were like my close friends that I was like chilling with in school. And the strategy of CVs just helped like that
push
thing
that
grow
thing, yeah.
into the school, even outside with other schools, you know. So yeah.
Okay. So I know startups are very difficult in any space.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like, this is not for me, I'm gonna quit? Did you ever think of quitting? If you did, why?
A lot of times, bro.
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
What-
Because it's a difficult journey, man. You know, there's a lot of things that were discouraging, especially in the beginning. Maybe you're just frustrated by something as small as a manufacturer, where you maybe make a t-shirt and then you sell it to somebody and then they wash it and it like, you know, the print goes
Print
off.
out, yeah,
I went
yeah.
through that whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Of going from one supplier to another, trying to find the best. So those kind of things were like very challenging and discouraging, where sometimes I'd even question myself, why am I doing this? Why am I, you know, even doing this if this is the feedback I'm gonna get, this is the response I'm getting from people. So, I mean, to be honest, I think I did pretty well, but the road was just really bumpy, you know. I mean, like, I started in high school, I had to sell pin pops in Scala to be
make the
able to
capital,
get some
yeah,
cash,
yeah, to
and
push it.
charge it in there. And one time I got in trouble with the principal.
Because you're not allowed to sell.
Because
in
you're not
school.
allowed to do that, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are kind of the times when I think back, I'm like, you know, I almost just kind of like quit, because it felt like this one thing that I'm trying to push is kind of like, you know,
It's not happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that in all of that, my resilience kind of just always came through for me, and in points where I felt like giving up, in points where I felt like maybe this is not for me. I think there was just a louder voice that would overcome that fear, you know. I think generally I got a lot of like support from family, you know. Momsy was there from day one, so she kind
Shout
of
out to
like,
Momsy.
yeah, shout out to Momsy, man.
Shout out to Momsy.
So she kind of also gave me that
Yeah.
confidence that I didn't even know I had.
To get to
Exactly.
it, yeah.
So at times I really didn't believe. She kind of like, you know,
Yeah,
showed me that, nah, my boy, we can do this. Should like deliver stuff with me and all of that. So
Yeah, it's good.
I think her being there and me seeing her doing that kind of gave me that hope that, oh, actually, it's like somebody sees this thing, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
No,
So
I
it
get
kind of
you.
like gave me that hope, yeah.
That's good, bro. You see, I think you do need a lot of foundation.
For sure.
From family, from friends.
For sure, for sure.
Remind you
Yeah.
why you started this
For
thing,
sure.
you know. But you've been pushing, bro. For example, like what are the most mistakes that brand make, or maybe you've been through or you've seen other brands make when they're in this journey?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest mistakes brands make now that I see is people just not prioritizing their product. And by that I mean, like, for me, I believe that the conversion or the selling point of my brand is the product. And by product I mean like the quality of clothes.
So would you say what's more important, product or marketing?
Product. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the product markets
Itself.
itself.
As long as it's quality.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
okay.
I see some of the guys in the game right now going straight to the business, but like neglecting the product. And I mean, look, I think we have a lot of like businessmen generally, or just business people in the world generally. And you can apply your business knowledge on any other thing, whether it's clothing, whether it's water.
Because at the end of the day, it's business.
It's business, right? But I think if you're passionate about the clothes, that kind of changes, that perspective kind of changes, where you start to care more about the clothes than it is of like. So that for me, I feel like it's a lot of. It's where a lot of guys miss it, and your product then fails to live beyond that ad or that marketing that you did, that viral moment that you created.
Just comes and goes.
Just comes and goes. You know what I'm saying? But if you've got a quality product that people can like wear for long, it's beyond the sale itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, people get to live with your product, and for me, I think that's where a lot of people just need to like focus on. Just focus on making sure that your product is clean. And you leave the rest to the world.
So basically, focus on the product, get it, think about it, take time, put some effort into it, and then build from there.
Don't compromise, you know.
Don't compromise
like, people
the
compromise the quality.
Cut the cost.
You know what I'm saying? You want to cut the cost. And what I tell a lot of guys actually now is sometimes we try to focus on too many things because you want to look like you're doing or you have like a big brand. It's much simpler, or I've seen it much better for me to probably just invest a lot of money in one product and make that product work.
And rather then, try to make a whole collection.
Instead of trying to make a whole collection, because that's where you end up cutting costs. That's where you end up like, compromising certain things that you're not really supposed to. So instead of, that whole budget on a collection, if you can take that, focus on 2-3 items that are a hit for sure. What it does, it also like helps create familiarity with people. So when people see a certain product over and over again, it helps people familiarize themselves with your brand, as opposed to seeing like
different kinds of
Okay. So I'm gonna see it, but maybe it might not stick. But if I see the t-shirt you're wearing
1,000 times, it's gonna stick.
And without even reading that, like it's written Empire in the front, just seeing that emblem already, I know.
No, wait. Okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. With money wise, what's the most money you've lost with a brand mistake, and like what happened during that time?
I lost 32,000 recently. That's the one I can think of. And I got fined by customs. Yeah. So we were shipping our stuff in, and some of the things that we had come in were not compliant. And on top of that, we'd already paid like shipping fees for about 40,000, I believe. And the shipping and customs, and then we had like a 32,000 fine for not being compliant with some of the things. So I knew that I needed to get my stuff straight, because I was like straight,
How did you feel at that time?
I had to charge it to the game, bro.
Charge it to the game, man. Learn from it.
I had to charge it to the game. I think it was, for me, I mean, look, I'm not to say that I don't respect money, but I think that like I see it more as of a commodity to just kind of like make things simpler, and not necessarily like something I'm trying to hold on to. it was a sad situation because I knew we could have flipped the money, but it was a hard lesson that I get to carry with and even apply on other things. I think just beyond SARS, I've just now started learning to get my things in order. You know what I'm saying? To just avoid a harsh lesson like that. So
Yeah,
I
it is
felt
a harsh
bad,
one.
but we keep it moving, man. I
Keep
charge it to
moving,
the
eh?
game.
Charge it to the game.
And I learned,
Okay.
yeah,
So I feel like with Empire, I feel like a clique. I feel like you guys are moving as one.
for sure.
It's Empire.
Yeah.
And I know you like at the top of the kingdom,
Yeah.
Mr. Empire himself. But like, when did you guys feel like, okay, now we're making it? Like now we like, let's actually lock in. Like guys, let's actually push. It's no more like, yes, it started off as CVs at school. But when did you guys feel like, yeah, we're taking it, guys, we're making it?
So, to be honest, I could say from the get-go, really. Excuse me. So, what I did was after high school, I was so sure about this thing that I decided to quit school. I decided to quit school because I wanted to focus on the brand.
brand.
I knew that this is where I wanted to go, this is the direction I wanted to take in life. And I dedicated my whole life to the brand, you know?
Yeah.
So 2018, 2019, that's when I left home. Home is PLK, Limpopo.
PLK. Oh, you from PLK?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I left home, I came to Joburg to chase my dream, man. And to be honest, I think for most part of it was just bad, like financially. Because, you know, you're coming from a different city, you know nobody here.
Where in Joburg were you when you
I
landed?
just went straight to CBD, boy. I was in CBD straight.
Yeah.
You know, I had started from the ground bottom, quite literally. I needed the cheapest place.
Yeah.
I didn't have any other source of income. I needed to build my financial plan from ground up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was quite, you know, tricky, difficult to work through. But, you know, I persevered. And I think things for us took a turn when we got our first deal with NBA and Castlelite.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
big brands, man. Shout out.
Yeah. So we got a deal with Castlelite and NBA 3 years ago. So I think at that point, like we were already like heavily locked in with the brand. Things were already moving. But when that deal came, it just kind of like solidified our vision and what we had already, you know, had in mind of what we wanted to do. And seeing such brands just come in and back us up like that gave us so much validation that you
You're
guys
doing
are
something
actually
right.
like,
Yeah.
you know, you're on it, and these guys are trusting you with like a big project. And I think that came with big responsibility. So a lot of things had to change from that point on. A lot of responsibility came into the brand. So we just really also just took that opportunity with grace. You know what I'm saying? I think we were like very grateful for that, and we didn't waste our chance. We didn't play with our opportunity. We just realized that God threw something at us. We need to do the most.
Grab it, run.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Nah. That's actually good to work with those brands, man. It
sure.
shows you guys are doing something good. You're building
Yeah.
something amazing.
Yeah.
With business side of it, what like are the 3 most expensive? Would you say running a brand? Because I see now you got also your store. Shout out to that. The store is amazing. Man.
Shout out, bro. You
It's
said what's the
beautiful.
3 what?
Expenses. 3 most expenses running a brand.
Stock.
Stock, yeah.
Spending a lot of money on stock. But that's because that's just the nature of our business. Without stock, we don't have money. Without product, we can't sell. You know? Stock has to be the biggest. I think definitely our shop overheads, all collectively, like your rent, your salaries, maintenance, cleaning. That is probably our second biggest. Then I'd say the third one is shoots.
Shoots.
Yeah, we recently did a shoot right now. Just kind of like telling the story of the brand, and it was quite costly.
Was
You know?
to shoot expensive.
Yeah, it was quite. Yeah, I mean, if you wanna take
Too
a day,
proper, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
there's things that we do, like regular shoots, Vincent wants me to spill out the coins and tell them how much I spent. But, I mean, I did one. So I did a similar shoot last year. There's a shoot we did. It was around Forever Building. I don't know if you guys peeped it, but it did well on the net.
I think I saw it.
Yeah.
I think so.
That shoot costed us about 17K for a video.
In that video, how long is that video also?
It's like under a minute. The shoot we did recently now, that one costed us about 26, somewhere around there, 26, 27. And look, to be honest with you, man, it's quite it's an expensive exercise because you're not buying stock. It's not like you're getting money out of it, you know. It's just in the hopes that you are adding value to your brand and it will pay off in other ways. So the return isn't necessarily direct monetary, but it's like you are like stemming your brand into the game and you get that recognition that you need. Just basically like earning your stripes, really. That's how we see it, you know. Just earning your stripes in the game. So just paying your dues, man.
Yeah. Paying your dues, okay, I see. So you think there's still more room for local brands, or you think the market is oversaturated?
Hell no. I think there's so much space for local brands. Yeah. Now more than ever, like in the history of South Africa, there's like a big appetite for clothing brands. 10 years ago, generally South Africans were not consuming South African clothes like that. Streetwear, to be specific.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like the hard couture stuff, and I mean, even for guys like Unseen now to be doing what they're doing, this is like the first of a generation, so to say. There hasn't been people in the past that were able to even push things at this large scale for me. So I mean, like, I think what Amapion is also doing, it's kind of like giving people, or just the streetwear game right now, a chance to just kind of like export the clothes, because those are the guys that are wearing our stuff, on like on these big platforms and all of that. Even the hip hop guys are doing the most. So I think the music scene right now is helping a lot with like just streetwear brands. But yes, I think generally we're doing well. I think there is space for more people. I think as South Africa, we're growing and we're transitioning into that country. Okay. So yeah, I think we're in a good space.
But I think we should learn a lot from also the piano artists. I think they collaborate a lot together.
Yeah, definitely.
I think us as local brands, I think we need to also work together.
For sure.
As you said, I think
for sure.
Look,
I think it's still probably still at the early stages right now, because a lot of these things are only happening now. Like, instance, for Galax Boy to be at the top of the food chain right now, just streetwear. If you look at the gap between them, it's quite huge. You know what I'm saying? So we still need guys to kind of like catch up and close up that gap, so that it opens up for even things like collabs. Because for them, for example, for them to be able to collab with people with someone like me.
Yeah, what are they gaining?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think there's just a gap in between for now, that we need more people to just come in and close it, so that it makes it a lot easier for these collaborations to come about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you started again with 0 rand, no connections, what are the 3 main focuses you will put your mind to get this thing started, to get this thing moving? With no money, 0, no connections, how would you do it again?
Product, again. I think that would still be my number one plan. Product, a business structure, number 2. I've come to learn and realize just how important a business structure is, despite your product, being hot in the street. If you're not doing things correctly, if you're not moving your money in the right direction, if you don't have a structure as a whole, your business stands a really good chance of failing. And not because you have a bad product, but just because you're running business
systems. Vin always talks about a system.
Exactly.
System.
You need the right systems in place.
Yeah.
So product, structure being a team. And I think the third one would be You said, what's your question again, sir?
The 3 main focuses.
Oh.
If you had 0 rand and no connections.
I think community,
Community, building a community.
Community. I think that has worked really well for us.
Yeah.
Because we're just generally a community-based brand, We include our community in a lot of stuff, so we are growing together. So they are part of our progress. They are part of our brand ethos as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So I'd definitely focus on community again, because those are the people that hold you down when maybe a product is not moving as great. Or if business generally is not as good, that your community is there. You can host a pop-up, they'll pull up. You can do this, they'll pull up. So you always have somewhat of a backing beyond the work that you need to do. That Lindo got me. You know what I'm saying?
That core following.
Exactly.
Important. Yeah. I won't lie, man. Empire for me is one of my favorite brands. Not just locally, just globally for me.
Shout out.
You can even ask this guy. I think they're my favorite brand.
I appreciate it, bro.
I see a lot of growth in 2026. I think they're probably gonna take over
for sure
2026. So what are your plans with Empire in 2026?
So we obviously just recently opened our store. So our plan was just to really solidify that, and solidify it in the sense that we want this thing to be a working mechanism without us necessarily being so hands-on, you know what I'm saying? And I think we did well really with just setting it up and getting it moving. Right now it's just getting into the thick of things and understanding the whole ins and outs of a store, and still obviously be able to run the entertainment side of things. So I think for us, that's mainly that, getting the word out, people knowing that this is our home, this is how things are operating, and from there we will look at other things. But another thing that we want to focus on this year is branch out into Cape Town. So our data has been alerting us that Cape Town is very much interested in our product. We did a pop-up this Jan in Cape Town. It was a successful one. People came out. I think it actually did more than we anticipated.
Do you know why your brand is more pushing Cape Town, do you think? Or
I think it's just the culture of Cape Town. I think our brand just resonates with the culture there. There's like young, youthful people who are just, really fashionable. They're about culture. I think there's a lot of culture there. And I think because it's not so much of a big city like Joburg, it's easy for people to just kind of like get by and share information. Like if I know Lindo, I know someone who also knows Lindo. So if Lindo's on Empire, that kind of thing just moves a lot better. That's what I've kind of like picked up with Cape Town. So I think, bro, the culture just resonates with our brand, and I think Cape Town for now is just giving our brand a breath of fresh air, just to see it on a different perspective. But those are the two things we want to push this year.
Oh, that's dope, man. I'd love to see you guys in Cape Town opening another store.
For sure.
Pushing. I know you guys had a pop-up last year. Which was
no, we had it this year.
Oh, you had it this year? Earlier this year? Oh, I thought it was
Jan, 4 Jan,
Oh, damn. Okay. Was that cool? Was it?
It was a success, bro.
Success. Oh, shit.
Did more than we anticipated. We had way more people there because it was our first time out there,
Oh.
So we were just taking, a risk to just kind of test the waters. Are you guys really about it or not? And Cape Town is really about it, man.
Yeah, man. Shout
fucking with the boys.
So we always end the episode with a previous question from our guest. But then this is our first episode.
Is it?
Yeah, this is our first episode. Shout out to you for pulling up to the first episode. But then now we have a question for you.
Yeah.
So the question is, if you were given only one day left to live, what would your 24 hours look like?
Probably spend it at my store.
Nah, that's
probably
real.
spend it
That's
at my
real. Nah, that's
store.
your passion. Nah, shout out, bro.
Yeah, man,
You living a dream, bro.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wake up every day and I go to my store, and sometimes I'm just really unaware that like I've achieved my dream, you
You
know.
living your dream, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think just basking in that gratitude feels very satisfying, you know.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I remember like my birthday last year. My birthday was in December, just a month after we opened the store. I was thinking, yo, what do I want to do for my birthday? I'm just like, you know what, bro? I've just been working so hard. I just need to just spend my birthday at my store, you know, and just appreciate all the work that I've put in, and just let, you know, the grace of God do its thing. So that's what I'd probably do, but I'd probably just chill in there and appreciate everything that I've done, appreciate my work, appreciate myself, and acknowledge myself for that I've lived.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're living a dream and you're doing it, bro.
Shout out, bro.
Like, push on, and it's only up from here.
Hell yeah.
It's only up from here, brick by brick.
You know what I'm saying?
Building. Forever building.
Yeah.
Nah. But now, so what question would you like to ask for the next guest that's coming? So, because we're going to ask
I think it depends. Do you know what the next guest...
I don't know. That's the thing. You should.
Maybe it could just be an all-round...
Yeah, all-round question.
I think what the question I'd like to ask is, what are you, being in the position that you are, because so what I believe in, right? I believe that like I got here because God gave me the chance to land, and I think it's by mandate somewhat to be able to pass on that blessing to the next person.
Sharing the light.
So I think I would want to ask the person who is probably in a similar position with me, who has achieved their dream, what are they doing, or what are they at least planning to do
to share the light
to the next person.
Okay, I'll ask them the question. That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think we all here, if you're creating something amazing, I think you need to share God's light.
For sure.
Because you're creating, you know, you need to share that energy, because then what is the point?
Exactly.
The point, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good question. So, yeah, but thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, bro.
This is great. First episode. The guy himself, you've been here for a long time. You know the game. You've been in the game. Yeah. And, so Grail Talk is basically an inside free game. We're giving free game to especially to the kids, man.
Yeah.
To the kids or anyone that actually wants to build something, from fashion brands, music career, anything in the entertainment space. That's what we're trying to do. Just give out knowledge, share that light, and hopefully it catches the ear, man. So anybody watching this, that's what Grail Talk is all about, man. So thank you so much, Jabs. Really appreciate it, bro. But to everybody that's trying to get some piece from Empire, you see we got the jeans on, Jab's got everything. The link is on the caption. You can just click the link and you can purchase everything. So thank you so much for watching.
And you guys can find us 6 Street Parkhurst.
Yeah.
Tuesday to Sunday. We're on. Yeah.